Welcome to Wise Guitar Lessons, and this tutorial is a full breakdown of The Meaning of Life by Josiah Queen on the acoustic guitar. So this will be breaking down finger picking, the chords, the strumming, everything in between. Make sure you grab the free chord charts down below, and let's get right into it. So this song is in the key of G major, so there will be no bar chords here whatsoever, and no capo involved. And so you'll need 5 chords to get you throughout this entire song. And those 5 chords are G major. You'll then need an E minor. You'll then need a C major. You'll then need a D major. And to top it all off, you'll need an A minor. So those are the 5 chords, nothing too hard. But let's talk about the strumming and finger picking. So this song is 50-50 finger picked and strummed. So I'm going to begin by showing you the strumming, and then in the next section, when I break down the intro, I'll explain the finger picking. So go there for the finger picking, but stick here for the strumming. So this song is in 4/4 timing, just like every other song, and is 111 BPM. So it's not terribly quick compared to his other stuff, but it's quick. And so you have 2 options for strumming, or 2 different strumming patterns here. The first one you'll need is when you're really in the bridge in the first chorus, just 1 down strum. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the one when he really ramps it up in the chorus, the bridge and stuff, is really just doing 8th note. So the key is to really keep the hand moving the entire time, but with very short strums. So you're not seeing me go like this. You're seeing me go just a few strings. And so with the strumming and in counting, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's both the strumming. Let's swap to the next part, and I'll break down all the finger picking for you. If I had to guess, you're probably here for the finger picking, and this finger picking totally rocks. So I'm going to break it down for you. It's always played in the intro and the verse, so I'm going to break down the progression, then show you the finger picking part, which I've broken into different sections, so it's easier for you to learn. So always in the intro, in the verse, is just going to be G for 3 measures, to G for 3 beats, D for a beat, to E minor for a full measure, to C major for a full measure. And so counting that out really quick, that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's nothing too crazy yet. And so what you're going to do here is the first part of this song, so what I'm going to call the plucky part, is going to be over top of the first G, measure G. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your, I use my pointer and my middle. You can use any other finger, but that's just what I'm using. And you're going to pluck the G and the B string together, and they're both open. So pluck that 2 times. You're then going to take whatever finger you're plucking the G with and just pluck an open G. So. Then you're going to take your pointer finger on your fretting hand, place it on the first fret of the B, then again pluck the B and the G together 2 times and go. Then another open G. Then again, before you get into the real finger picking, you're going to pluck the G and the B both open 1 more time. So that part, the plucking part in total, is. And so that's really going to be the hardest part, just getting it up to speed. But once you got that, it's super easy from there. Then you get into the real finger picking part. And so the real finger picking is just doing this over and over. It's doing I'm doing 6-2. So 6-2, 4-3-2. Then I'm plucking the 6 again. That's always on the G. And so for the G, I'm just going to play that. Play that 2 times. Then you're going to get into the plucky part again. You're going to play that again. You'll get into the finger picking part, but instead what you're going to do is play that finger picking 1 time. Then you're going to go open, pluck the 6 and the 2. Then you're going to go 2, 2, and pluck the G of the 2 and the 2 of the E. Then you get into the E minor and C. So over top the E minor, you're going to play the finger picking 2 times. Then you're going to go to the C, and you're going to play the C finger picking 1 time. So then you're going to pluck the 5 and the 2 together 1 time. And so in total, so you got the full recap here. That is and that is what is played mainly through the intro, the first verse, then the second verse. And you'll hear at the tag of the chorus, he's just going to do just play that plucky part. And so I mix and match with that. If you're doing both the strumming and the finger picking, let me grab my pick here. You're just going to go back and forth of like, you'll need to know when to drop out and stuff. So really play along with that playthrough and you'll get that down pat. Now, let's break down the progressions. So the final and best part, let's break down all of the progressions and parts. So again, it'll be broken down into progressions, which I'll then build to build all the parts. The parts are super easy. There's just little variations, but that's it. So progression A is going to be that intro. So the G, 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 G for 3, D for a quarter, then E minor, C. That's progression A. Progression B is then going to be A minor for a measure, E minor for a measure, C for a measure, to D for a measure. Progression C will be E minor for a measure, C for a measure, to G for a measure, to finally D for a measure. D is the easiest part, and that will be just G for a measure, G for another measure. How simple is that? Then the final one may be the little tricky one, but it'll make more sense later. So progression E is going to be D major for a half a measure, to E minor for a full measure, C for a full measure, G for a full measure, then G for a half measure. When you play that 2 times, it then gets you back on track in the chorus. It kind of doesn't make much sense now, but I'll show you. So now, let's build each of these parts. So the intro is exactly what I told you. It's the G, 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 D, E minor, C. So that's progression A. Verse 1, you begin with progression A. You then do progression D, so the 2 Gs. Then you do progression B. And that's where you really want to continue doing the chorus. And so that finger picking I was telling you about with the G, you just want to keep that finger picking pattern going. So doing the now, that was not the right order there, but when I'm playing, I do the finger picking up to the D, which then I just finger pick 2 strings together, so the D and the D. I grab my pick, and then I get into the chorus, and I start strumming there. So the chorus 1 at least, is C, C, B, then C, D. And so the first C's, the first two C's, you just want to down strum. Then after that, for the B, C, D, get into that strumming. And don't tire yourself out. You want to do those little mini strums. Don't forget that part. Verse 2 is then doing A, so the intro verse part, and then tacking on a D, so 2 G's. That's where you'll pick up the pick again and do the finger picking. Then after that, you don't really want to pick it back up. So you pick up the pick, and then the second chorus is C, C, B, C. And that's all where you're doing the... So don't wear yourself down, because it will wear you down pretty quick. Then you get into the bridge, and the bridge is essentially 2 B's. So B, B, and you're just doing down strums the entire time. So really take that break while you can. And then in the outro chorus, so what you're going to do here is you're going to play 2 E's. So that's the kind of weird thing, but this is where it's going to make sense. You play that 2 times, then you get back on track. And so for the 2 E's, or the first E at least, you want to do that same finger picking. You can put down the pick again. But what I would recommend is instead just pick 4 notes. So do 8th note arpeggios. So do like... Then you pick up the pick or start strumming then. And then you're doing... Hope that makes sense. Then you tack on a B, a C, and to finish it all off. And you got the song. A G major, just strum 1 G. And that in total is the song. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this tutorial helped you out. This song is so much fun to play, and that entire album is an entire banger. If you'd like any more, leave them down below. I'll make sure to do them for you. And if you haven't already, make sure you grab the free chord charts down below and check out the full playthrough to get that timing with that finger picking. And I'll catch you next time. You take care.